Hi guys, it's Rafael here from londonapple.com, and this week's blog is about the 5 items you should not be forgetting to plan before you go to live abroad. Item number 1 is bank account. Depending on the length of time that you are going to be living abroad, you may need a bank account. Remember that having a bank account, you will be able to have a debit card that you can pay for your shopping, you can pay for your online shopping, you can buy tickets and do many other things that only a debit card can do. Carrying cash all the time may not be viable and is not safe. Also, you need to check with your bank account that you have in your country. Depending on the time you're going to be away, you may be paying charges that you don't want to spend that money. So, I would advise you to go to your bank and ask if you can suspend the account for the time that you're going to be away, or if it's too much work, if you have to close the account and reopen once you are back. As I said, it all depends on how long really you're going to be living abroad. Item number 2 is your mobile. If you're going to be away for 3 months or more, it may be worth keeping the contracts that you have. But if you're going to stay away for more than 3 months, it may not be viable keep paying for a contract that you're not going to be using. Unless, of course, you talk to the company that provides your mobile and see if there are any special packages if you're going to be abroad. If there aren't, I recommend you either pass on your contract to a friend or try to negotiate with the provider to cancel your contract so you don't have to pay for something you're not using. Remember that in the country where you're going to be living, you're going to have a mobile phone too. At the beginning, you may use a prepay. Lots of companies in Europe give you a free SIM card as a prepay. And after you've been in the country for a while and you have a bank account, you will be able to get a contract or a postpay, which will be cheaper, and there are lots of promotions and packages that you can add to call the home country. Item number 3, it's health insurance. It's very important that you make sure that you have travel insurance before you travel. In case you fall ill or you have an accident, you are covered in the hospital in the country where you're going to be living. Once I was traveling in France and I had a small ski accident. It would cost me more than $2,000 to cover ambulance, x-rays and overnight in hospital. I had health insurance. That means I was covered and the only thing that I had to pay was the excess. So it's worth checking with the health insurance you're looking for if they cover you for all sorts of trips when you're abroad. And the length of time you're going to be living away, it's also very important to let them know. Number 4 is travel insurance. Some people get confused and they think that travel insurance covers hospital accidents. Sometimes they don't. So you need to make sure that you look for a travel insurance that covers your gadgets. The last thing you want to be worried about is in case you lose your phone or your camera or your computer is stolen, that you lose that thing forever. It's very important that you make a list of all the valuables that you have and you go to the travel insurance broker or the salesperson and you tell them what you're going to be traveling with and how much they are worth. You will need receipts for everything that you say that you have, because in case you need to claim that the item was lost or stolen, you're going to have to prove that was yours. And the only way to prove is either with a receipt or with proof of a credit card. So if you have a credit card statement that you bought that item, that can also be used to prove that the item belonged to you. So double check with the travel insurance how much they would cover, especially if you have expensive cameras or computers or mobiles when you're traveling. Living in the UK means that the plugs here are very different from the plugs in Brazil. I was in Brazil just now on holidays and I had to take an international adapter because Brazil has two different types of plugs. So make sure that you have an international adapter so you can charge your phones, cameras, computers and any other electrical gadget that you need during your trip. So here are the 5 items that you should not be forgetting before you go to live abroad. Have a nice trip!